Hi everybody, my name is Sera Jo. This week I'm co-hosting music lessons with Carlos. See you!
Welcome everybody to another live session in music lesson webinar with Carlos. Today we will cover different topics such as ear training, music theory, keyboard skills, chord progressions, and contemporary voicings. We also have some new piano tutorials, so stay tuned and let's get started. Okay, thank you, Sarah, for co-hosting today's music lessons with me. And thanks for that a wonderful musical introduction. And now, I want to go back to, I want to introduce, I want to start with chromatic scales. Why chromatic scales? As I always say, chromatic scales are really useful. Yeah, in just one, especially with a movable DAW system. With one pass, up and down, we cover all the possibilities. Okay, and we're gonna work with chromatic scales in both bass clef and treble clef in two levels. One level, I call it foundational level. And that level has to do with building memories, building our musical memories. Yeah, and eventually, this is just my take, the stronger our musical memories, that is going to develop our musical perception, how we see things effortlessly from moment to moment when we practice, when we do our music. Okay, so foundational level, we are going to be playing a scale and singing at the same time. And then later on, we're not going to be playing, but we're going to be singing only by just touching the keys of the keyboard. So hopefully we have integrated our chromatic scales to some degree. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start. We're going to play our chromatic scale in G flat. So here we go. I'm going to play and sing. Do, di, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li, ti, do. Descending. Do, ti, te, la, le, sol, si, fa, mi, re, ra, do. And now we're gonna go to the next level. We're gonna go to an application level. So now see if you can just touch the keys of the keyboard, and you're gonna sing, but you're not gonna actually play. Yeah? And if you are with your guitar, you're just gonna touch the fretboard of your instrument. So here we go. Something like this. Do, di, re, re, mi. Okay. And let's practice together. Do, di, re, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li, ti. And let's see if we're together. Do, descending. Do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. Okay, good. And now we're gonna move on to bass clef, bass clef. So we're gonna play a triad with our right hand, and left hand we're gonna play a scale going up and down. Do, di, re, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li, ti, do. Descending. Do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. Okay, good. Now we're gonna take it to another level. We're gonna take it to application level. So still we're gonna play our triads, G flat triad, and then we're gonna play our chromatic scale. We're gonna touch the notes. Yeah, but we're gonna sing. We're gonna touch the notes and sing, but we are not gonna play. Yeah, so we have to sing the chromatic scale without any help. Here we go. Do, di, re, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li, ti, do. Now descending. Do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. Okay, very good. Yeah, very good. So now we're gonna move on. I wanna do something else. Since we already warmed up with chromatic scales, I wanna work with our symmetrical diminished scale. Okay, symmetrical diminished scale is very interesting. If we check the intervals, we have a whole, half. So I'm gonna start in C. Whole, step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Yeah, so we can call it this the whole step, half step scale. And if we're gonna use a solfege, we're gonna end up with do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do. Okay, what a useful scale. And so here we have, one moment. We have our symmetrical diminished scale, and we're gonna combine it with a diminished chord. Yeah, so it's gonna be something like this. Do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do. And here is the actual chord scale analysis. If we're gonna go into chord scale analysis, we're gonna end up with a C as a 9. Then we have a C as a root. D9, flat 3, 11, flat 5, flat 13, diminished 7, major 7, and root. Okay, so that's gonna be our analysis. So one of the things that I would like to do, I would like to actually use the use the solfege so we can work on building our symmetrical diminished scale on every key center. Okay, so why don't we start? We're gonna start in the key of C. We're gonna build it. We're gonna build it like the cluster that we previously had. Yeah, do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do. But here we have the note display. So why don't we start? Do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do, together. And let's go to F. Do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do, together. Now let's go to G. We're gonna build our scale in G. Do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do, and together. And always at the end, I like to play the cluster technique, yeah? So it's a bit like this. Yeah, with the left hand, we're gonna play those notes, and with the right hand, we're gonna play those notes. Actually, I can play 4 notes with the left, 4 notes with the right, or vice versa, according to the shape of the scale. Okay, good. So now we're gonna move on to the key of D. Key center, maybe not key, key center. We're gonna build our scale. Do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do, and together. Let's move on to A. We're gonna build our scale on A. Do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do, and together. And let's move on to E. And here we go. Do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do, and together. Now let's move on to B, the key center of B. Do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do, and together. And now let's move on to E. We're gonna build on E. No, we already hit E. We're gonna go to F sharp, and here we go. Do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do. Yeah, so we can see same relationship in F sharp that is in C and any other key. Now we're gonna go to C sharp. C sharp. Do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do, and together. And let's move on to G sharp. Do, re, mi, fa, flat 5. Se, le, 6, la, ti, do. Actually, it's not the 6, it's the diminished 7. Diminished 7. We're gonna do it again. Do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do. And let's move on to either E flat or D sharp. Yeah, both actually. Probably D sharp would be more appropriate in this case. Do, re, mi, fa, se, le, la, ti, do, and together. Now we're gonna move to A sharp. Probably more appropriate in this case, A sharp than B flat. Do, re, mi, fa, si, le, la, ti, do. Okay, very good. So we covered all 12 keys, and there's something that I would like to talk about here. If I'm back in the key of C. Our La, our diminished 7. I'm using, actually for our diminished 7 on La, I'm using the syllable La. Traditionally, we don't have, as far as I know, a diminished 7 in solfege. I know lately some people have been using a ta, or but traditionally, at least the way I learned it, we didn't have a solfege syllable for a diminished 7, so we were using the major 6 solfege syllable, and I think actually that's very useful, especially if my emphasis is not in or let me put it this way, if my emphasis is creating a very sharp musical memory that then I can use for composition, improvisation, La seems to work actually quite well. Okay, good. So we covered our chromatic scale in G flat, and then we did all our symmetrical diminished scales in all 12 keys. Now I want to move on, and I want to play a blues video tutorial. And here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, and before we start, I would like to thank Sera Jo for supplying her collection of jazz blues or bebop blues in all 12 keys with written out comping parts and walking bass. So this is a terrific collection. So, and also I just want to emphasize that all the walking bass lines in every single key are different. It's not a copy and paste, and then we just create that in all 12 keys. And also the voice leading, and the chord progression, the way Sera Jo developed the voice leading for the right hand is different in each keys. So why don't we listen?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, blues in A, blues in A. So that actually we should practice this. We should practice playing, blues in all 12 keys. And I want to say hi to Juan. Juan, thank you for joining us. Welcome. So I want to play this one once more. Let's see, get our keyboard ready. Even if we cannot sight read both hands at the same time, at least we can do right hand chords or left hand bass. Either one will work. So why don't we play it again? And here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, thank you, Sera, for your blues in A tutorial. Okay, so now that we listened to the tutorial, now it's the time to do our homework. So now we're gonna work with 2-5-1s. How about if we do that? Oops, no 2-5-1s. We have to do intervals. Okay, why is interval so important? Okay. Many years ago when I was a student at Berkeley and I was learning all my jazz voicings, and in those days, I don't know if today, but back in those days, you know, I was just giving some chords and I had to learn them in all 12 keys, and there was no way to developing a musical memory strategy. Yeah, much less a memory system. Yeah, to be able to effortlessly and not only memorize those specific voicings, but memorize any voicing. Yeah, so to have a musical memory system that will allow me to integrate and memorize anything that I want, visually, auditory, kinesthetically. Anyways, so then that kind of get me into investigating. You know, how do I process information? Yeah, and there were two aspects of my music making that I've been using all the time since then. One is visual. Yeah, learn to visualize, and this is part of my how I use intervals. Yeah, how I use them applied to the keyboard. And the other one is solfege, which has to do with language. Yeah, but now we're gonna work with visual input, with visual processing only, major 6. Yeah, I want to emphasize intervals now. You know, every week we're gonna work with one interval. So major 6, we're gonna see major 6 is 4.5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4.5, going up. Or if I'm descending, yeah, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4.5 whole steps descending. Yeah, but now we're gonna focus on ascending. So how are we gonna practice? We are going to practice, yeah, our major 6, and we're gonna be playing them, changing hands and changing registers, and we're gonna use a cycle. In this case, we have the cycle of major thirds. I don't know why did I put it there? I was thinking in using my perfect fourth cycle, but we have here a cycle of major thirds descending. So that means that I'm gonna move like this. Clockwise, C, A flat, E, B, G, E flat, B flat, F sharp, D, A, F, D flat, and back to C. And I want to zoom out a bit, yeah, because I want to be changing hands. Okay, yeah. I want to be changing hands and changing register. So why don't you follow me? We're going to use the cycle of major thirds descending. Yeah, and I'm going to call up a note, C, first case, but you're gonna play C and the major 6 above. Yeah, so it's 4.5 steps, C and A. Okay, here we go. We're gonna start. C, A flat, E, B, G, E flat, B flat, F sharp, D, A, F, D flat, and C. Okay, good. So now time to move on to and work with descending intervals. Okay, so major 6 descending, 1, 2, 3, 4.5 steps descending. But now I want to change cycle. Let's do another obscure cycle. Let's work with the augmented 4 cycle. So augmented 4 cycle is interesting. C, F sharp, D flat, G, D, A flat, E flat, A, E, B flat, F, B, and C. And we're gonna practice our major 6 descending intervals. So I'm gonna be calling the cycle and we're gonna play from that note a major 6 descending. Here we go. C, F sharp, D flat or C sharp, G, G, D, A flat or G sharp, E flat, A, E, B flat, F, B, and C. Okay, so that was a nice interval warm-up. Yeah, I would suggest that we practice our interval warm-ups from a minor second, ascending, descending, to a major 13th, ascending, descending every day. So that's gonna be the kind of the elements. Yeah, we're working on developing our perception of those perceptual elements. So if we're in the key of E, and we have all our intervals from a minor second to major 13, so we can say, okay, I'm in the key of E, and I want to build my chord. And here I have my sharp 9, my 3, my flat 13, my flat 7, my flat 9, my sharp 11, and maybe a root on top. Yeah? And then I'm able to navigate and be able to construct all my chords and all 12 keys with effortless ease. I believe in effortless ease. Yeah. I'm a fan of effortless ease. Okay, good. So what are we gonna do next? I wanna work with, what are we gonna do? 2-5-1s. 2-5-1s, 2-5-1s. And let's see. Last week we started with our 2-5-1s with, it's like a 3-voice 2-5-1, adding an extension. Okay, they are written in a certain register, but I'm gonna take a license to just change the octave according to how I feel they will sound better in the moment. So maybe they sound better here. So first we have a D minor 7, G7, and C major 7. Okay, so let's look at the top row. The top row is the most important one. That's the only one that actually is gonna remain steady. Yeah, which is the formula. Yeah, so the formula in all keys, we're gonna have a flat 3, flat 7, and 9 of D, or if we're in solfege, a Fa, Do, and Mi. If we go to the 5, yeah, I'm gonna have a flat 7, 3, and 13 of the 5, or a Fa, Ti, Mi. And then if I go to my C, to the root, to the 1, I'm gonna have the 3, the 6, and the 9 of C, or solfege, Mi, La, Re. After we finish, maybe not today, yeah, but what I want to do is I want to have my voicings. We're going to go to 2 levels: foundational, which is the level where we create a musical memory, and then application, which is where we are trying to wing it. Well, not wing it. We're trying to apply what we know. Yeah, we're trying to figure things out. Yeah, so why don't we read it? Yeah, so and then we're going to do a couple applications. Yeah, so here we go. Key of C, 2, 5, 1. How about if we play with the left hand? 2, 5, 1. Now let's go to F, key of F. So what I would do immediately with the left hand, 2, 5, 1, Re, Sol, Do. Here we go, 2, 5, 1. Okay, left hand only, 2, 5, 1. Maybe too low. 2, 5, 1. Okay, so now we're gonna move on. Let's go to B flat, key of B flat. So left hand, 2, 5, 1. Right hand, voicing. This voicing sounds nice, but probably that would be the lowest I would go. Otherwise, I would play up here, up in the upper register. 2, 5, 1. Okay, let's do the same with left hand. 2, 5, 1. Good. So now we're gonna go here to E flat. 2, 5, 1, Re, Sol, Do. 2, 5, 1. Now left hand, 2, 5, 1. Okay, now we're gonna move on. Let's go to A flat. Yeah, let's go to A flat. What's happening with my... Okay, A flat. Re, sol, do, 2, 5, 1. Now, left hand, 2, 5, 1. And let's go to the key of D flat. D flat. Re, sol, do. Let's see, probably here sounds better. 2, 5, 1. Now left hand only. 2, 5, 1. And let's do the same practice now in the key of, let's work in the key of G flat. Yeah, G flat. So, G flat, Re, Sol, Do, 2, 5, 1. Now, left hand, 2. Nice, too low, too low. 2, 5, 1. Okay, so that practice of the left hand I really like. It's like a stride style. 2, 5, 1. Now let's go here to the key of B. Re, sol, do, and right hand. 2, 5, 1. Yeah, probably I wouldn't play lower than this. 2, 5, 1. Now left hand. 2, 5, 1. And let's move on. Let's go to the key of E. Key of E. 2, 5, 1. And right hand. 2, 5, 1. Now left hand. 2, 5, 1. Let's do it again. 2, 5, 1. Now let's move on to the key of A. Key of A. 2, 5, 1. I'm gonna add the right hand. Okay, so here we go. 2. Maybe we can play down an octave. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, maybe that's the lowest I would go. 2, 5, 1. Now we're gonna play left hand only. 2, 5, 1. Once more. 2, 5, 1. Okay, and now we have one more key to go. Let's go to the key of D. 2 more keys. Yeah, key of D. Re, sol, do. Right hand. So here we go. 2, 5, 1. Once more. 2, 5, 1. Left hand. 2, 5, 1. Let's do it again. 2, 5, 1. Now let's go to the key of G. Re, sol, do. Right hand. 2, 5, 1. Again. 2, 5, 1. Now left hand. 2, 2, 5, 1. Again. 2, 5, 1. Okay, so now we did a nice overview yeah, of this of 2-5-1s using 3 notes, adding 1 extension, yeah, to our voicings. Okay, good. So now I want to move on. And some of my students were asking me now for merengue. In merengue, we're going to do sabor. Okay. Merengue. Last week, we did example number 1. And in merengue, we have kind of, well, there are so many styles and sub-styles, but if I just may group them, you know, in 2. Derecho, pambiche. Derecho, straight, marcha, yeah, and then pambiche, which is the syncopated version. And then in pambiche, you have so many different sub-styles. You have all different type of pambiche. You have what they call ritmo caballo, and so many other ones. And they are all related to also different ways that the conga, the tambora are going to interact. And of course, the guira too, but especially the conga and tambora are going to interact. By the way, you know, I found between my notes, I found a lot of transcriptions that I did of tambora and congas and merengue. So I'm going to prepare a lesson and we're going to listen together. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Yeah, we're going to go through all the styles and sub-styles. Then we're going to have the whole transcription there. Yeah, that's okay. So anyways, let's listen. Derecho style example number 2.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, let's go through the pattern. Yeah, so we're in the key of G. No, key of C. What am I saying? Key of C. And we have the 5-7 of 1, G7 resolving into C. And we're going to start on the end of 4. Yeah, and we have that pattern. And actually, we should start with that pattern just with our metronome slowly and then little by little increasing the tempo. So why don't we give it another listen? And then we're going to practice, but in a slower tempo.
One, two, 1, 2.
Okay, so now we're gonna go, we're gonna take the tempo down to 180 beats per minute. Yeah, 180 beats per minute. And here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, so now time to practice without the piano. Yeah, so you're just gonna see the music notation and you're gonna have bass and percussion. So Time to practice together. Here we go. 180 beats per minute.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, you have to be careful with the octaves. Yes, Juan, those octaves also, they get me too. So we have to have our wrists, really loose when we practice. When we practice merengue or, even salsa and Latin jazz, those wrists. There are certain warm-ups, I actually wrote some warm-ups, actually for myself when I was playing 7 nights a week with different merengue bands, and I thought, how am I gonna survive this? Yeah, so then I had to learn how to loosen my wrists while playing a lot of octaves, octave patterns. So now we're gonna go to the original tempo, 248 beats per minute, and we're gonna practice without the piano, but with bass and percussion only. So here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed this merengue tutorial, and I want to explore different tutorials on merengue, salsa, Latin jazz every single week. Yeah, those are so fun to do. And now, we have to work on our voicings. Yeah, so we were working with our minor 7, but with 9, so my root is going to go to the 9. And we worked on all 12 keys in root position, first inversion, second inversion, and today, third inversion. Third inversion. So how are we going to do? First, we have, again, 2 levels. Yeah, foundation level, application level. Foundation level, we're just building the chord, note for note, singing the notes, or the goal of a foundational level is to create the memory, create the musical memory. And then once we know how to work with this chord, so we can work with it in different ways. So why don't we start? Te, re, me, sol, flat 7, 9, flat 3, 5. Here we go, key of C. We're gonna sing together. Te, re, me, sol. Let's go to E flat. Te, re, me, sol. And I think for this exercise I can zoom in a bit more. Let's see. Yeah, that's even better. E flat again. Te, re, me, sol. Let's go to F sharp. Te, re, me, sol. And let's play the chord. And A. Te, re, me, sol. And let's go to C sharp. Te, re, me, sol. Key of E. Te, re, me, sol. G. Te, re, me, sol. B flat. Te, re, me, sol. And D. Te, re, me, sol. F, Ti, Re, Mi, Sol, A flat, Ti, Re, Mi, Sol, B, Ti, Re, Mi, Sol, and we finish on C. Okay, so that's foundational level. Now we're gonna go to another level. So how about we're gonna practice this chord within a cycle? Yeah, you remember the other chapter we were using cycles. We used the cycle of minor thirds, major thirds, augmented fourth cycle. But just for today, we're gonna use a cycle that we are kind of familiar with, which is a cycle of fourths. So we're gonna go C, F, B flat, A flat, E flat, D flat, F sharp, B, A, E, D, G, back to C. Okay, so we're gonna play left hand root and right hand chord. So here we go. C, F, B flat, E flat, C sharp. Oops, what did I do? C sharp. No, I had to play A flat. What am I doing? A flat, C sharp, F sharp, B, E, A, D, G, C. See, that's what happens when we don't pay attention. I was thinking about something else. Okay, now what are we going to do next? We're going to play this chord, but how about left hand only? C, F, and so on. Yeah, so we're going to do a stride workout. Still cycle of fourths, but we should practice all different cycles. You know what? Why don't we do a different cycle? Yeah, let's do a different cycle. Yeah, let's work with cycle of minor thirds ascending. So I'm going to be calling the keys. C, E flat, F sharp, A, C sharp, E, G, B flat, D, F, A flat, B, and C. Okay, so that is another way of practicing our voicings, and there is another way that I like to practice. Left hand is going to play the voicing, right hand is going to play the rootest melody, C, and we can go to F, B flat. Yeah, so this is great to get used to having that left hand, playing voicings while getting this hand freed up for melodic work, or improvisation, or solos. Okay, so and I want to do, since we're already working with a different cycle, I want to work with cycle of major thirds ascending. So why don't you follow me? I'm going to call them aloud. C, E, A flat, C sharp, F, A, D, F sharp, B flat, E flat, G, B, and C. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, so I'm glad that we were able to work on different levels. Number one, the foundational level, just building our chord. Di, re, mi, sol, and then, left hand chord, right hand chord, left hand root, left hand stride, and then our chord in our left hand, our right hand was playing the rootest melody. Yeah, so it was very comprehensive today. Okay, good. We did a lot of work, and now I have to say goodbye to everybody until next week. So thank you for being with me in this live broadcast. We covered a lot of material, and we're going to continue to do so in our next class. I'll see you next week, same time, same channel. Until then, have a wonderful week, practice your instrument every day, and listen and play lots of good music. See you next week.